So today, we have a very interesting question on our hands. Can MCU Punisher survive the WWZ apocalypse? Well, let's find out. So, to answer this question, we need to know exactly what the WWZ virus is. Well, the virus itself is quite different from the movie and the novel. And I'm only going to be using the movie version. I'm also not including the 2019 game, so there will be no special infected either. So the virus is called the Solanum virus. Sorry if I mispronounced that word. And it's very similar to that of rabies, and it's highly infectious and incurable. The movie didn't really explain where it came from or how it started, but it was believed that it started in China, as apparently every bad disease does. Too soon, sorry. So, once infected, the virus immediately takes over the brain by killing every brain cell and then mutating the brain into a new organ, no longer requiring energy, water, or oxygen. It causes the body to undergo an intense seizure until the person dies and becomes a zombie, and all of this happens in just 12 seconds. After turning, they're only driven by the desire to spread the virus. They're extremely hyperactive, fast, and they don't tire or feel pain. They're highly attracted to loud sounds, and they have some level of intelligence, as hordes of them can literally just climb off one another to get over large walls and to even take out a flying helicopter. It only took this virus a few days to get around the entire world, completely destroying large cities and significantly lowering the human population. Its only flaw is that the zombies are completely 100% blind to critically injured and ill people. Now, we need to talk about Frank Castle, his skills, abilities, and weapons, and then we can determine if he could survive it. Well, he's strong enough to overpower Ragdoll and suplex Daredevil, who is also impressively strong, easily snap bones, and even cut a man's head off with a knife. He's fast enough to match combat speed with Daredevil, dodge bullets, to quickly turn around and shoot Daredevil in the head in a split second when he was 4 to 5 feet away, and Matt's a consistent bullet dodger, and he's routinely gunned down whole groups of men single-handedly with just a handgun before any of them could draw their guns and react. But his greatest physical quality is definitely his durability, more specifically, his endurance and pain tolerance. He's resisted tranquilizers and tasers while already injured. He's withstood being severely, and I mean severely, tortured while already injured and desperately needed to be hospitalized. And not only did he remain conscious, but he killed his attacker, Agent Orange. He's routinely kept on fighting after taking massive amounts of damage and pain, like being shot and or stabbed, shot with an arrow, shoulder dislocations, and being severely cut all over his body by several attackers at once. He's even survived being shot in the head. And then of course he is wearing his bulletproof vest with his iconic white skull symbol on it. He's also a very skillful fighter due to his extensive military training in several fighting forms. He's also very brutal, as he's savagely beaten people to death. He's also developed his own unique fighting style that incorporates his skill, brutality, and his use of firearms, specifically handguns, while in close quarters. He's bested very skilled fighters like Billy Russo, Agent Orange while injured, and even Daredevil. He even held his own against Fisk in a brief but brutal confrontation, while his feet were chained to the wall and was already injured as well. He's also a weapons expert, especially with firearms, being one of the best shots in the whole MCU, up there with Bullseye and Hawkeye. And for this scenario, his marksmanship would be his greatest asset, as I can't see him surviving too many up close encounters with just one of these zombies, let alone a whole group. So, can Frank survive the World War Z apocalypse? Well, the main character of the World War Z movie, Gary Lane, was a soldier and investigator for the US Army, which means he had similar training to Frank, and he survived it. Granted, he did have a lot of military protection throughout the movie, and then he became camouflaged to the virus. But I think this is countered by the fact that Frank is clearly better and more skilled in every area. I think Frank's biggest issue would be the first initial encounter with one of these zombies, because Frank doesn't just kill innocent people. He only kills out of vengeance, self-defense, or if someone gets in his way. Actually, accidentally killing innocents is one of his greatest fears. But it's not like he wouldn't have heard about these zombies taking over and rampaging in the streets of New York City or wherever on TV, the radio, or some other sort of broadcasting station. So it's not like he wouldn't be aware of them existing and be prepared to fight against them. Uh, with all of this info, I'd say Frank could survive it for a long time. Even if he is a secluded person who doesn't normally stick around with people, he's also very adaptable. He knows how to stay quiet as well as move quietly. He'll know to avoid huge cities and towns and not to stay in one place for too long. I mean, I'm sure his unlucky day would eventually find him, but I'm positive if we just put MCU Punisher in the World War Z movie, I'm positive he could survive it for a good long time. And actually, with Frank's personality and attitude towards everything, he would fit right into a world like this. But anyways, like and subscribe if you did enjoy, leave a comment of what you think, and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and all that great stuff. See you on the next one. Peace.